Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Rose.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
We are here with another edition of Big Brother 27 live feed spoilers. Man, what a messy past 24 hours we've had a chance to enjoy here.
Oh my God, Vince, I told you not to win this HOH. It was like last time when I told you not to win that HOH, it was going to unravel your game, that everyone was going to see exactly what you were doing. And I understand there were circumstances last time and this time, kind of the same, that he needed to win this HOH. But man, those two HOHs, the last one, this one, he really needed to not win, because my fear for him with this was that Morgan was going to try to force him to put up Lauren, because she wants Lauren gone, but she wants Vince to do it. She wants Vince to choose her over Lauren by putting Lauren up. I knew it was coming, and it is coming, and it is here. It happened throughout all the feeds. It's been like this push from Morgan to the fact that actually Vince had a talk with Lauren about this. I can't believe he's doing this. This is somebody who has been an ally for him since pretty much the beginning. You having this conversation with Lauren, man, I just feel like, and you guys, if you've been watching a little while, you know that I have felt that while I don't love Vince was going to win this game. I feel like he is the person that has been playing the best, as well as Rachel, but Rachel's no longer on this game.
Yeah.
He is the best player that is left there, and he is the person who I felt like was going to win the game, much like Will said last night on the show. But this move to actually have to sit down with Lauren and kind of be like, maybe you could go on the block. I'm scared. I'm like, oh my God, she would totally have taken you to the end.
I am having just so much fun with the tragic comedy of the past 24 hours because Vince, over the course of several weeks now, has dug this grave, and now he's looking at the grave and there's a shovel next to it, and he's like, who dug this? When he's like suddenly forgot that he did this to himself.
Yeah.
Like, I do think Vince is a good player in many aspects, but Vince's problem is a little bit bad luck in the sense that, yeah, he keeps finding himself in these really bad circumstances where he feels like he has to win HOH. Like, that's one part of it. But then he is someone who never wants to stop talking ever. Like, I understand this to a certain extent. Like, I'm like a shark. I feel like I always have to keep moving or I'll die. So it's just like, I understand that he wants to talk through every option all the time. But doing that to people, especially somebody like Lauren, it's going to make her nervous. It's going to make her uncomfortable, and it's going to make her feel like, I've done all these things for you. I've forgiven you for X, Y, and Z. Like, why are you putting me through this now?
She has kept him safe through her HOHs. She used the veto on him. The fact that he would go to her and even suggest something like this, if Lauren isn't completely out on Vince by the end of all of this, then I don't even know what is going on. I know there's not a lot of players left, and you kind of have to be allies with whoever you can be allies with.
Yeah.
But man, I would cut him right at the end at this point. There is no way I'd have him sitting beside me.
Okay, well, this video, we're going to dive into this long and winding and extremely messy road to nominations, including all of these talks with Vince and Lauren. Keanu, once again, managing to step in it in just like the most ridiculous way possible here. Also, Zingbot. But before we dive into any of it, be sure to hit that subscribe button because we are here every day with Big Brother 27 live feed spoilers. We have a great time talking with you guys about the ins and outs of the game. And we are also rapidly closing in on 80,000 subscribers, which is awesome, surreal, beyond words.
It's so amazing. It's really wild. Thank you so much, everyone who is helping us to get this goal of 80,000 subscribers. It's really incredible. We really appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for that. It really does mean the world. Okay, so how we got here with Vince's HOH in the first place was that, he found himself in a circumstance where he was there at the end with Kelly and Ashley, and I think he would have been fine if Ashley was HOH, but it ended up just being Vince and Kelly, and I won't even just say this for Vince. If I'm anyone else in the house, there is no way I'm letting Kelly ever be a head of household.
No way. You don't know what she's going to end up doing. You could
Yeah.
think you're fine with Kelly and then you're not fine with Kelly. Absolutely. While I was saying Vince needed to not win this one, in this case, he should not have let Kelly be HOH, not just for
Yeah.
him, but like you said, she's just, yeah, no, she's too unpredictable.
Yeah, he really just needed someone else to end up getting this, or Ashley to end up pulling this out in the end, because, she has her issues with Vince, but, there's the whole judges strong, even though there's only 3 judges left in the game. Like, it's like maybe that would have at least pulled him through this week.
Yeah.
Okay, so Zingbot was a part of the HOH, and we're not going to do the thing where we just like sit here and run through every joke, because there's nothing less funny than having to listen to somebody else repeat another joke that's out there already.
100% I agree. But some of it does relate to gameplay.
Yeah, like this is the part of it we really want to focus on, and I think a lot of us saw this coming, that in some shape or form there was going to be a joke that was about the relationship between Vince and Morgan. Like it all harkens back to Austin, way back on Big Brother 17. It's like, okay, we're going to get something. And so for Morgan Zing, we basically had Zingbot list off a few different things and then proclaim that Morgan is Vince's girlfriend.
Right. And as we know, Vince has a girlfriend outside the game. And
Yes.
while we're not going to get into any of that because that doesn't have anything to do with this, this Zing really got into Morgan's head. And so Morgan has now been kind of like out the door a little bit on this relationship, at least with some of the more physical stuff. The hugging's a little less time, less arm rubbing, all of that. And it just kind of made me sit back and be like, did you really think like this was friend behavior? Because she's just kind of trying to be like, oh, well, it's just nurturing, fun friend behavior. I'm just like, man, see you doing that to Kelly. You're not hugging her for like 2 minutes and rubbing her arms. None of that is happening.
Yeah,
it is only one person and it is Vince.
I don't know if it's delusion, denial, a lack of self-awareness. Maybe it's all of the above, but it's been so painfully obvious to everyone else in the house. Like Zingbot's not going to come in and say something like this just because people outside the game are talking about it. Like Big Brother, at the very least, we can quibble with certain things when it comes to fairness, but they're not going to have Zingbot do something like this unless there's active conversations in the game that are going on. So like,
and there are.
Yeah, like this is the sort of thing where Zingbot does affect the game because it starts to kind of get the wheels turning. Morgan, like you said, she's already distancing herself, at least physically, from Vince a little bit. She's made it clear she's really worried about the outside world. Is her life going to be ruined? What's going to happen to her once the game is over? Vince, meanwhile, like he's trying to reassure her on some level. Like he's handled it in more of a, let's just continue on the game. It's all going to be fine. And Morgan is the one who's much more resistant to it at this point.
Morgan, you knew he had a girlfriend. I don't know what to say. Like, you knew he had a girlfriend. So if you're being this physical with somebody that has a girlfriend or, a husband or who, like, what's happened. You know what the deal is. Nobody didn't. It's just really frustrating that she's going to kind of be this upset about it, knowing that she's being pretty physical with someone who has a girlfriend. And I'm not giving Vince any sort of pass here either. It's all on the table. So like, that's the zing. And I don't know why you didn't see it coming.
Yeah, they really didn't, but it has led to this narrative now where Vince is really sensitive about what happened, the zing that was there, obviously concerned on the outside world. But I think he is thinking a little bit about, okay, well, this is probably something that's been said within the house. So he goes on a crusade trying to get to the bottom of this, like trying to find some of the information that is out there. It's like, who is causing Zingbot to say this?
It's you, Vince. I mean, who is caught? It's like, you're the guy. It's just like, we got to find out who did this, right? It's just like, it's you, Vince. Yes. This is the reason why people are talking about it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of just ridiculousness that comes from this. Like, Vince gets upset at one point with Keanu, and he's basically just like, Keanu, why did you not tell me there were discussions happening about this? And it's like, for starters, whether you're talking to Keanu, Lauren, Ava, like, it's not their job to tell you what other people are saying about you.
No, it's not their job to tell you. And I mean, you're in a relationship. You're spending so much time with this other person where you guys are being very physical. And while, everybody has different lines of what is okay, what is not okay.
Yeah.
We've spoken about this in many videos ago where I was like, if this was my husband, he'd get a cut ass. I'd not be okay with it at all. Other people are okay with it. And they may be like, you know what, this is fine. My line is something else. And that's fine. But here, everybody that's watching it happen, they all have their own lines too of what
Yeah.
they would be okay with or what they see happening, and they're thinking in their own heads, like much of America out there being
Yeah.
like, I would be okay with this. I wouldn't be okay with this. So that's what's happening. And he needs to understand that that would be something that's happening. Everybody in the house knows he has a girlfriend. So that's what's happening.
Yeah, and I mean, it's funny hearing lay all that out because we got his perspective on that from Keanu too, where Keanu has basically been like, if this was my girlfriend in the house, like I would dump her pretty much on the spot after the fact, and it's just
Agreed,
like,
King.
yeah, like everybody's gonna have their own feelings about all of this, especially when you're watching everything play out. But where this gets really complicated game wise here is that Vince continues this crusade with Lauren and tries to get information from Lauren. And as Big Brother Telephone works here, Lauren tells him that Keanu told her that Keanu and Kelly, and this was yesterday, for those of you who don't watch the feeds, they do this thing called HOH lockdown, where all the house guests, they get in the HOH room because they're practicing things for the live show, getting everything set up, and then they're all released. And apparently, after all of this stuff goes out, Keanu made this joke about Vince and Morgan, where he said, "This is Big Brother, not Cheater Island," which Keanu, I mean, for starters, it's a little funny. It's a little funny.
It's a little funny.
But it's also Keanu King. You don't need to say everything that is in your head, and you especially don't need to say everything that is in your head to Kelly.
Yeah, okay, this is the thing. Okay, so yes, it's a little bit funny,
Yes.
but at the same time, it is about a sensitive subject.
Yes.
Again, some people would think that that's crossing the line. Other people would not think that that's crossing the line. It's just the way that it is. Everybody's got different measurements of what they're okay with.
Yeah.
But for him to just call it out as that, it's going to be a very sensitive topic because there's usually some truth to jokes.
That is the truth. Like, there usually is truth to jokes. You can't run the risk that this is not going to go back to someone else. And
Especially with Kelly.
yeah, and because Kelly likes to instigate, like, all of this circles around, Vince finds out about it. Vince confronts Keanu about it. And here, once again, Keanu, I love you. You're an incredible entertainer to all of us. But
Yes.
every time we get sucked into you, we are always reminded of, oh, yeah, I actually needed to remember that Keanu is not really good at traditional Big Brother at all.
No, he is not. He's not good at Big Brother, but that's okay.
Yes.
Not everything about Big Brother is about only gameplay and strategy. Everybody watches the show for different things, and one of the things that we watch a show for is messy behavior.
Yes, and so Keanu's mistake number one is telling this joke that he should not have told at all. Number two, telling it to Kelly. Number three, he just basically admits to it in this conversation with Vince, where I'm just like,
Why not own it?
couldn't you just say that Kelly was lying? Couldn't you just throw somebody else under the Keanu? There were other options that were there, because it's just like, you say something like this, that you've made a Cheater Island joke to Vince, who has a girlfriend. You're basically making, in his mind, an attack on his character, where he just feels
Yes.
like, okay, you know what? If I don't put you on the block, or if I don't come after you to some extent now, like, what kind of chump does that make me look like?
I think at this point he probably just realizes there's so little people left in the house. How's he really gonna lie and get around this? Like, yeah, Kelly does say things that aren't true all the time, but she does say things that are true as well. I think he just probably didn't want to get into a back and forth with Kelly at this point, or thought that his and Vince's relationship was good enough that he could be like, okay, yeah, I said this, but it was clearly just a joke. I don't mean it, kind of thing, and thought that it'd be okay to say something like that to the person who's the HOH.
Yeah, okay, Keanu tried. He didn't backpedal on his joke, but he was very much in the, I did say this, but everybody's been saying things. Everybody's been, why am I the person who's getting attacked for this when like all these other people are all saying all of this? Like,
Yeah.
this is Keanu's argument on many of things in Big Brother. Sometimes he's right, sometimes he's not, where it's just like the default option for a lot of people is just blame Keanu.
Absolutely. And at this point, for him to just blame everybody, to be like,
Yeah.
we're all in on the joke of this. We all think that this is happening. We all are, seeing what's transpiring. Why would I be the only person to end up, catching a stray over this when everybody has said this?
So Keanu, after this conversation, he goes and sulks in the backyard. It's just kind of there by himself, and he admits to us he's just like, okay, that wasn't the most tasteful joke of all time.
No,
He did regret saying it, like
he
he
did.
felt bad about it, and eventually. Here comes Ashley to try to talk a little bit of sense into our guy's head
Yeah.
here. She tried to remind him that, Kelly is throwing you under the bus continuously, Keanu. Like,
Yes.
Keanu keeps trying to tell himself, it's like, okay, maybe it's not intentional. Like, maybe she's not doing this to me on purpose. And Ashley is thinking, like, yeah, she is doing it to you on purpose, Keanu.
Yeah, she is. She is taking things that he has said and running the bus over him, and also handing him the bus schedule on things that he hasn't done, like yell at her.
Yeah, it's just he has to see the light, and I think Keanu's seemingly a very good person, and I think one of his problems is just that he wants to see the good in people at all times in a
Mhm.
game where it's really discouraged to see the good in
Right.
people, and
Yep.
so he needs people to be like, Kelly's bad news, Vince's bad news, and Ashley's here to try to help with some of this. Like he's worried that he's going to get nominated because of this, and Ashley's trying to reassure him and be like, you would have my vote to stay versus Kelly. I feel like I can get Morgan on board. Like Keanu is at this point, and he's even saying it with a laugh, where he's just like, "Can you believe, Ashley? You are kind of the only person that I trust in this game at this point."
Oh, I know. And that is where I know. I
I
know.
I can't believe that we're here. I still love the two of them. I still don't have a lot of confidence this is going to work long term because nothing with Keanu ever seems to work long term.
It doesn't, but I mean, there aren't a lot of options that are left here at this point.
No. So this entire messy, we have to figure out this situation is happening with Keanu and Ashley. And if this could not get bad enough, while this is happening, the feeds show that Kelly is sitting at the door because Keanu and Ashley are outside, and
Mhm.
she's just at the door watching them. Like, I can't sit here and be like how much she really heard, but neither Ashley nor Keanu, they're not known for being quiet.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know how much she actually heard or not.
Yeah, but Keanu basically put himself in a position where he had to be nominated. I mean, the other thing is he is a big physical threat. Like all those
Yes.
other things about Keanu were still true. He might have been put up anyway, but he just stepped in it to such a degree that there was no other choice for Vince here.
Yeah, listen, he's at this point feels like he's just winning his way to the end, and it feels like if you don't want to sit at the end with him, you need to just keep putting him up until you hope he loses.
All right, well, let's move now, though, into what you set up early on this video, which is the extremely complicated, messy situation where Vince did a good job for a lot of the game insulating himself with multiple allies.
Yes.
And it's great
Yeah,
to
he
have
did.
allies on different side of the house, right? Because
Right.
information comes funneling back.
Right.
The problem is one of his number one allies in Morgan is desperate to see the other one in Lauren go at all costs.
Yeah, but it has to be through Vince. Like
Yeah.
it feels like other people that have tried to talk to Morgan about getting rid of Lauren, yeah, she wants her gone, but she wants it to be Vince because if Vince is the person that takes her out, it is showing loyalty to Morgan.
So Morgan last night, she basically spent all night just harping on this and harping on it. And this is one of the things that she is good at. It's not always entertaining to watch, but she's really, really good at just sort of
Badgering you into the ground,
Yes.
browbeating you into it.
Yeah, like she won't let things go, and I think this is probably where the Vanessa comparisons come from, right?
Mhm.
Like she just badgers people, and she just asked Vince a million different questions, like, "Do you have a final two with Lauren?" He's denying it. He's like, "Well, why are you doing this with Lauren? Why are you doing that with Lauren? Why are you still so eager to protect Lauren. You have to nominate Lauren this week. You have to do it.
So it did end up getting through to him, and this is it's like, don't win this one. Like, the one he needed to win is the next one on the double, where there's no time for Morgan to get into his head, and he can just deal with whatever he needs to deal with at that point. I think he's going to end up going in this double. It's just, at this point, it's so messy. He is the biggest threat in the house, but after all this badgering, he does decide that he's actually going to have this conversation with Lauren, which I think is the worst move that he's made so far.
Yeah, him doing it is really bad. Him deciding just to listen to Morgan and to some extent Ashley, because both Morgan and Ashley, they had come up with this idea. It's like, okay, we'll reassure him we will not get rid of Lauren this week if she's on the block. You know, we can say that. Maybe that'll make Vince feel a little better about it. Like, it at least for now seemed like Morgan was kind of genuine about that. Like, it's always kind of still hard to know, right?
No, she's going to get her out. I don't believe her for a second. If they're pushing this hard to get Lauren on the block, Lauren's going. It's just the way that it is.
Yeah, like, Morgan tried everything with this guy. Like, she tried that offer. She tried even saying things that aren't entirely true, including that, like, oh, you know, Chelsea last season, she never touched the block. Do you want Lauren to be the same? And Chelsea actually did touch the block. It didn't happen for a while, but it's just she was throwing everything at him. And yeah, eventually, like you said, Vince was like, okay, I need to do this. But this is where a little bit of a tinfoil hat has to come on, because I think this is a good question for all of us, is that, did Vince really entertain this more because just he wants to stay loyal to Morgan, or because he still felt guilt because of the Zing bot? And I mean that Vince has played a very snaky game, but I think he's still human. I think he has empathy. I think he probably feels bad. Like, is that a part of what's going on here?
I don't know. I don't know if taking out Lauren because he feels bad for Morgan is actually going to do anything for the girlfriend Zingbot thing. That just makes it look worse to me. That if it's like Morgan's going to push him into doing something, he's going to be like, well, I don't want to, but because it's you, I will, which is basically what's happening. And that doesn't make her look any better. It doesn't make him look any better. It's just, I think he just didn't want to hear it anymore and was like, you know what, I'm just going to go see if she's, you know, willing to do this, if she's willing to go up and, you know, just test the waters on it. And of course she doesn't want to go up.
No, like, this is the thing with Lauren, is that we have all given Lauren a really hard time this season for being very indecisive, very frustrating to watch at times. I'm going to put another tinfoil hat on now.
Oh, wow.
How much of this is an act? Because I'm starting to really feel like a lot of this with Lauren is an act, because it's just like how defiant Lauren has been today with Vince and how quick she's been to shut him down. This is not the I don't know Lauren. It's like all of a sudden when it impacts her game, it's like her eyes have woken up and she's now like fired off 50 miles an hour running around the house.
Okay, my tinfoil hat's on too.
All
so
right.
Here's the thing about Lauren that I've kind of wondered, because yeah, she's been like, oh, I don't know, all season long, very wishy-washy on offense of her own making. Or is she?
Okay.
Because the way that she's been behaving, when she's behaving that way, it's with people she's not working with. But the people that she is working with, she was a lot more clear with Catherine when Catherine was in the game. And she's been very clear with Vince throughout the whole game, because she's thought that she's been working with him. So her being wishy-washy with people that she's not really working with, that's not really surprising. Why would she want to give information to people that she's not working with? Information in this game is power. So if you're not working with them, don't give it to them. But the people that she is working with, she has been clear. This is not the first time with Vince that she has been clear with him.
Yeah, and she was clear to him no matter what sort of proposal he threw at her. Because Vince, once again, he feels like he has to talk through everything imaginable. Like, he's throwing all these ideas at Lauren over the past 24 hours to see if he can figure something out. Because, you know, it makes sense that Keanu would be a target at various points this week. It's felt like Ava was his number one target. Kelly's kind of in there. Like, he proposed this idea that was like, okay, Lauren, if I don't put you on the block, and both Kelly and Ava are up there are you going to use the veto on one of them if that situation comes
Right.
up? And, she wasn't really giving him an answer at that point that he wanted to hear. And like, at that point, I was a little bit like, okay, Lauren, why not just lie to him at this point? Like, maybe you'll get yourself out of this situation a little bit faster.
Yeah, and I think the thing is that she trusts working with Vince.
Yeah, she does. Like, I think Lauren really does or did want to go to the final
Did.
two
Yeah,
with him, but
right.
it's just like this whole process with, am I putting Lauren up on the block? Like, even leading up to the nomination ceremony today, like it went on and on and on, where Vince was basically begging her at various points and saying, like, you're gonna be fine. You've got the numbers. Nothing is gonna happen to you. I just need to do this in order to show, these other people that they can trust me on some level. And then, of course, she's just like, well, haven't I shown that, I'm trustworthy, that you can trust me? I haven't done anything to put you in any danger at all.
Ever. So, like, why in the world would you ever come to her with this to be like, I have to prove to other people that I'm trustworthy? Why not just rock with Lauren all the
Yeah.
way to the end? Like, listen, between her and Morgan, she is winning more competitions and is more likely to be able to back and forth with Vince.
Yeah.
Win your way to the end. There is not that much time left. You don't actually need Morgan, so just let it go.
Yeah, and I think you have a better chance of beating Lauren than Morgan
Yes.
as well. Like, there are reasons to just be much more loyal to Lauren at this point. Like, the other part of it is that we do have Morgan badgering Vince to no end. Like, Lauren's not doing that same exact thing to
Right.
Vince, where it's just like, yeah, she's gotten closer to both Kelly and Ava, but she's not like being anywhere near as demanding. Like, the only thing Lauren's being demanding of is just like, why are you wanting to put me on the block? I don't want to go on the block. That's not happening. I'm not entertaining any different scenario that has me going up there at all.
Yeah, don't put your allies on the block. Like, it's so weird. You are so close to the money.
Yeah.
And I'm not here being like, Vince has played a perfect game. That is not the case. But Vince has played a very good game where he has been able to, for a long time, mirror what people are saying to him, make people feel good, make people feel heard, make people feel trusted. But that second HOH really messed a lot of that up. And this HOH is messing up the last perfect piece of this puzzle, which is that Lauren would never turn on you.
Okay. So here is where we get into the good/bad news here. Lauren is not on the block. The nominations have come in, and it is Kelly, Keanu, and Ava. It's like, Vince, if you had just done this and not wasted hours with this whole Lauren converse, everything would be fine.
Yeah, this should have just, as much as I don't like that he's on the block, Keanu, obviously, he should have just done this. These are the people that he is not working with. You should never have gone to Lauren to do this, because now your relationship with Lauren, it's definitely hurt. Whether she's going to be honest about it or not, or be like, oh, I don't know, whatever, it is hurt.
Yeah.
And how can it not be?
It's 100% gonna be. And yeah, Morgan's gonna be upset about this, that Morgan didn't get what she wanted. But at the same time, Morgan's being a little bit hypocritical if she is doing this whole, you can't have other number one allies. I'm not saying Ashley is Morgan's number one ally per se, but Morgan's way closer to Ashley than Vince is. So it's just like, you're trying to cut down on Vince's allies while maintaining one of your own.
Yeah, listen, Morgan was never going to put Vince on the block. If she won the next HOH, Vince would have been fine whether Lauren went up or didn't go up. And now he's basically kind of pissed them both off, because you're going to have Morgan who's like, I told you to put her up and you didn't. And then you're going to have Lauren on the other side being like, why would you ever come to me with this? I have been loyal to you this whole time. I played a veto on you. How dare you?
Okay, we're in this situation now where there is one really, really entertaining possibility that we have to bring up now entering the veto. Let's say, hypothetically, Ashley wins the power of veto, and Ashley is like, you know what? I really want to save my new friend Keanu, so I'm going to take him off the block.
Let's go.
Vince has to nominate either Morgan or Lauren because of this stupid blockbuster.
Yeah, and at that point, I think Lauren will end up going up.
Dear Big Brother gods, please,
Oh.
please let this happen because it's going to be so funny.
I don't want Lauren to go home.
I don't want Lauren to go home. Ideally, like the real truth of it is here is just like I want Kelly to go this week. Like
It's time.
it's time. I'm tired of her. Even if Vince wants Ava to go, it's hard to really imagine a lot of scenarios. Like really, we're looking at a spot here with if Keanu's on the block after the blockbuster, he probably goes. If it's Kelly, she probably goes just because they've won too many competitions.
Yeah, listen, Ava's not really impacting the game in any real way at this point, but Kelly actually is because she is stirring the pot, lying about things, sharing information, broken telephone. She's causing actual problems. Like if Ava goes, it isn't going to make any real difference.
All right, well, there we are with this edition of a very messy Big Brother 27 live feed spoilers. What do you guys think about Vince's nominations? But then beyond that, the way in which he got to them, let us know in the comments and hit that subscribe button for more. Help us get to 80,000. We really appreciate that. And we also really appreciate everyone out there who is supporting us via Patreon. We have a link in the description below for that. Thank you so much. We will see you here next time.